If you'd like to go
Okay.
first, I can ask some questions.
We'll see who comes through, but yeah, we'll give it a shot. Hello.
Hello, who's coming
We,
through?
we are the Mantids.
Oh,
We
perfect timing.
we thank you for your attention and your willingness to listen to our messages. We at this time would like to share with you that although there is a lot of chaos going on in your world, you have to understand that there are two sides to every movement. There are things that are beneficial to your planet's growth and expansion as you realize Gaia is in her own incarnation and going under her own life lessons and life experiences. So understand that although things may appear to be going in a negative manner, they are not always to be construed as negative, as the planet is undergoing her own spiritual growth and is having instances occur that are simply part of this growth and have nothing to do with the human race at this time. There are movements and shifts in the poles and the energy frequency of your planet, which have been written into Gaia Terra's chart. And these things are going as they are supposed to go. They are part of the plan and they are occurring at this time, which is a very large time of growth for your planet and for your souls. There will be much chaos continuing for the next few months for your race, as there is still a very strong hold on your media presence and on the belief systems of the humans who refuse to understand that there are things occurring that they must see through and allow their souls to grow. There is a lot of belief system challenge going on for these souls. So it is very hard at this time for the positive and the high vibrational energy to reign. There are still many, many humans who refuse to let go of the fear and live in love as is required for them to be in a high vibrational status. Even many of the people who are claiming to be spiritual still live in fear, and fear is not available where there is love. Love replaces fear. There is no both of them at the same time. So it is imperative to share the messages with these people stuck in a low vibrational density, that it is imperative for them to let go of the fear. The fear does not serve, it brings them down. It may cause them to develop disease. It may cause them to develop an instance to exercise an exit plan from their incarnation, which is not optimal because they chose to incarnate at this time for a reason, and their presence here is integral to raising the vibration of the human group as a whole. There are many things going on in the universe outside of your sphere as well. There are many people looking to Earth to see with hopes that this transformation will occur as it is supposed to. However, it is challenging. It is challenging because so much of your human population is stuck in the low density. And so much of your human population refuses to learn and educate themselves and understand that these control issues that they work with are not serving them. They are so stuck trying to control the narrative that they are bringing themselves into low vibrational energy, which is not healthy for them. It's not healthy for their spirit and their soul growth. Excuse us, there is a large amount of energy coming through in this channel. We are trying very hard to get the message out to as many souls as possible to understand the seriousness of this message. They are so engrossed in the media and so engrossed in the division of the humans that it is challenging for them to let it go and to understand that all are one and that division is low vibrational. Division is dangerous. Division and judgment only bring the vibration lower, which enables the negativity to overtake the souls. Are there any questions we may answer for you at this time?
I don't know your name, but I feel like I know you. That was very forthwith, and it's certainly something that feels very familiar.
We are we are a collective of mantids. I, speaking up front, are Eadtu, and I feel it is very important for the humans to take our messages seriously. We realize that this is challenging for some people to understand that they are a part of this evolution, but they are wasting their opportunities and they are ignoring the guidance that is being given to them from numerous reputable sources. It becomes frustrating to watch people ignore guidance and continue on a path that is non-beneficial for their souls. So we wish to convey this message with strength and fortitude to help them understand that this is very important to heed at this time.
Is there anything more that Kelly could be doing in addition to what she's doing already to help forward that message on to the appropriate humans that need to hear it at this time?
She will be receiving more information more frequently, and it is important for her to share that information as it is delivered so that the messages can be out in a timely manner.
So are you being prescriptive that when she feels the nudge to channel, to record it, and then to immediately release it?
Yes, that would be optimal for delivery, and it will allow people to hear the message time close to when it was delivered.
Okay. I'll certainly make sure she understands that. She does have some questions she asked me to ask. The first is she's collectively now channeling the Mantids on a more ongoing basis. Is it going to be a guest speaker intermittently coming through, or will it be one particular contact that she would naturally have more contact with to channel these messages when they occur?
There are numerous entities that she will be communicating with. There will not be a sole entity that will provide messages. There are different factions and divisions of mantids that will share different types of information with her so that she is able to share them. But there will not be a single entity contact. It will be numerous different mantids and usually a collective of 6 to 9 entities at any one given channel.
Okay, understood. She's mentioned that she's attempted shamanic journeys, such as visions, and she's only receiving claircognizance or knowing at this time. Will that change and get more developed as these messages come through from you for her to share to humanity?
It does not appear so at this time. It does appear that her claircognizance is going to remain highly, highly tuned, and that will be sufficient for her to do the job that she has agreed to assist us with.
Will you be asking her to channel live messages, such as a live stream, or is it always going to be static where she channels, records, and then releases a recording?
As we get more comfortable with the connection, which we are very comfortable at this point, but still learning the nuances of the energy with this vessel, it will become a possibility if she desires to provide a live channel and questions and answers similar to what is happening in this session as well.
Well, Kelly, in that regard, Kelly would like to know if there's a good platform for her to use, such as whether it be Zoom or other streaming medias. Is there anything in particular that works best based on the energies that come through?
It would appear that the platform that you are currently working with would be sufficient.
Okay, fair enough. And she's also curious about the group of mantis that are channeling through her. Is there anything more you'd like her to know about your collective?
Again, there are several different factions or groups that she will be working with. We have various specialties and various sites of visions that we wish to share. We are all in the ninth dimension, and we are all working to assist the human race with the conversion to the fifth dimension. It is something that a lot of different groups are taking part in so that we may be available if requested to assist. We are not forcing anything. We are simply offering guidance and assistance from a perspective that the humans are not able to access, which will allow them to see our given information and what dangers they could be encountering for themselves if they remain in that lower vibrational energy.
Are there any other actions that the mantids are taking on Earth at this time, such as walking among us incognito?
There are mantids who are able to attain the shape of the human, who have been working with your race for many years. It is a little known technology that they are trained over a period of time to be able to rearrange their molecular construction so that they are able to appear as a human and able to speak as a human. And they have been walking among you for some time now.
I've had 4 different encounters in the last 6 to 8 months with humans that were different, and the moments were very specific in terms of messages being delivered. Were any of those mantids in incognito?
Yes, they were. You are very perceptive and able to understand the nuances of the shifted beings, and you will continue to have contact with them as you are out and moving around in public. It is something that you are attracted to their energy as they are attracted to your energy because of your high vibration. And it is something that you will be able to recognize more frequently as you get more attuned.
My very first energetic healing session was back over a decade ago, very closely to the start of my awakening. In that session, one of the things that surprised me beyond feeling the energy was my arms coming up in a pincer movement, almost like a mantid. Can you discuss what was going on there with me?
You were attuning to the energy of the mantis or mantids, depending on who was in contact with you. It is it is as though you are able to attract the energy, and you are also being shown different beings. You are having different visions and experiences because you will be one of the first that will have the official first contact as it is being more publicly known. You are having contact at this time, but it is in the spirit realm where it is not visible to others. As you continue to grow spiritually, it will become much more easy for you to have these interactions in your dimension.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Now, in relation to my providing messages that come through my channel, through the new platform that I'm building, is there anything extra or anything different I should be doing other than the actions I'm taking now to create that platform so I can continue to communicate to the public?
Continue to deliver your messages. Your messages are very receivable by other humans, whether they believe or not. So they are able to relate to your messages because of the delivery. And you will slowly gather a following that will become much more well known as time goes by. All of those messages that are available for public viewing will build a momentum. So continue to add them as your Nathan and your Jasper will allow you to have series of videos that will build on one after the other, which is exactly what the public wants. They will see the first video and be called to watch the next video and the next video and so on. So it is important to keep your momentum moving forward so that new followers may not feel lost when they find you. They may go to the beginning and take the journey through your messages to see the collection of all of your messages. And that is how your platform and your presence and your expertise will become more well known.
So the sequential nature that I'm naturally following is the right path to be able to give people that breadcrumb trail should they come in early, middle, or late to the show, so to speak.
That is exactly correct because it will give them a starting point where they will begin and feel as though they are receiving the whole story.
Understood. Okay. Kelly had another question. What can you tell her about the tall goddess aspect? The tall goddess aspect.
The tall goddess aspect is a level of spiritual growth that she has attained. It simply means that a lot of the human characteristics that she used to exhibit are no longer a part of her personality. She is somewhat becoming like a mantid because she is able to take apart situations where others would be stuck on emotional facets of an experience, and she can see it from the upper realms and look down on it and see the pieces of it and how it fits together and find a solution that will be non-emotional and logical. However, many of the people that she tries to deliver these messages to are still stuck in the emotional state and do not understand that the benefit of this type of dissection of a situation is ultimately important because it will give them a solution much more quickly than if they were to work around it and go through the emotions and understand it. So the tall goddess aspect is simply the aspect that removes the emotion and removes the attachment of the human incarnation from the ability to reason and solve logical problems.
Understood. Kelly's final question was, will you be able to help her or will you be able to perform some form of a body scan on anybody that she is assisting if they should request that?
We are able to scan the body and we are able to offer healing as we have done with her wrist. However, it is important to understand that not all physical maladies may be healed because sometimes they are a part of the plan and they must be experienced in order for the soul to get the growth that it asked for by having that physical condition built into the plan.
Oh, I know that. Okay, so that makes sense. So, sorry, final question that we both share, which is a curiosity about med beds. Do you have any experience with that? And is there anything else you could tell us about the future coming of med beds?
The medbed is created by the human race. It is trying to be presented as something that is of the extraterrestrial origin, but that would be incorrect. It is created by the high level controlling humans with the intention of allowing people to believe it comes from out of your atmosphere. That is not correct. It is simply a belief that has been spread very well because we are hearing a lot of questions about the med beds, which are supposedly from an extraterrestrial race. I don't know the actual origin, but it is something that is being presented to you as another falsehood of your human control faction.
And would it be correct to assume that the reason why that is because once you attain your awake state and you're doing everything you can to maintain your highest level of vibration, you are your own med bed?
That is absolutely correct because high vibration heals everything. I also believe that the medbed is based on the Rife technology, which was a human from centuries ago that presented a frequency healing. And although it will work, it is not of extraterrestrial origin.
Understood. Thank you. And so to the rest of the group, I apologize. I was asking a number of questions that Kelly asked me to ask this evening. So it's now over to the group for any questions that you may have. I apologize for the blocking the microphone.
Um, I have a question. Um, Several channelers have recently channeled information about a big Earth rift potentially happening off the coast of California near San Francisco around February 18th, 19th. Are you able to tell us anything about that?
It is part of Gaia Terra's spiritual incarnation experience. There will be activity of shifting, and it is part of Gaia Terra's chart.
Is that something that's going to affect the entire West Coast or
That
only the
depends.
surrounding San Francisco area?
That depends on the energy that is fed to it by the humans. If the humans act in fear, they will get what they want. As you know, you manifest by the energy that you project. And if there is a large projection of fear that is created by your media, as is the case in most natural disasters, you will experience severe issues with this. It is all energy and it is fed by the energy of those that are giving attention to it.
Okay, thank you.
As you saw in the Jamaica hurricane last year, it was a very terrible and terrifying storm that was advertised way before it was arriving, which gathered a collection of fear by the people, which fed the negative energy of the storm, increasing its damaging aspects to the island. It is the same with all natural disasters. Again, it is a form of control that your high level humans are casting upon the human beings that they do not understand. Turn off the news. Stop listening to these chains of information that are incorrect, that are being fed to you simply to allow them to gather energy. When you go within and you allow yourself to understand that you have the power because you are of the God source, as every single being is, you have the ability to go inside and connect to your divine connection. This will remove you wasting energy on all of these outside influences. We keep telling the human race that it is integral that they stop allowing this fear to be spread as it is, but yet it continues. So there is only so much we can do to offer guidance. If they will not listen to us, they will get what they ask for, which is usually not a very good outcome for them.
I have a question on behalf of Natalie. Um, in addition to obviously not watching the news, which would lower your vibration, and that's a good message for all of us to continue to adhere to, is there any suggestions you have with her that would help heighten her vibration level and increase her ability and confidence in channeling if she so choose to do so?
Natalie has a very strong connection to her channeled entities. She is doubtful of her abilities, and all that she would have to do is to meditate more often and allow her mind to slow down so she can connect to her heart center, which will allow the channels to come through. She has she has connected very easily with them in the past, but unfortunately, she has a busy life that distracts her from her time that she is able to spend going within. So, as she is able to better manage her going within time and allow herself to have it a little more frequently, the connection will pop through very, very easily.
Thank you. That's helpful. In terms of meditation, would you recommend that I meditate in a fashion to clear my mind, like clear it of thought, or should I do like a guided meditation to try and connect with guides? What type of meditation is beneficial for this kind of thing?
Any type of meditation that works for you. For instance, if you are able to go within with a guided meditation, perhaps being distracted by the guidance is beneficial for you. If you are able to sit in silence, it is challenging because the mind doesn't want to be quiet. It takes a bit more discipline where you have to have the mind quiet as it chatters, quiet it again, return to your place, and continue as if you are training a puppy. That may work for you, but do not feel that you have to fit into a mold of what anyone else tells you. Do what works for you. For instance, Kelly is unable to sit in silence because every time she tries, she gets an idea and doesn't want to lose the idea. So there goes the meditation as she goes to write down the idea. So she finds that if she listens to a tonal noise like a 432 hertz sound tone or music that includes the sound tones, it is much more easy for her to go within and enter that state of bliss. Perhaps that would work. The frequencies that will most benefit you are the 432 hertz.
432. Okay, thank you so much. I'm learning several different intuitive skills. I've learned medical intuition and I'm trying to do the channeling. And then I'm also now learning mediumship. Is there a special skill within the intuitive world for me? Or what do you see me doing with this?
Of the practices you are learning, which one brings you the most joy?
Well, I'm still learning, but right now I'm enjoying like open intuitive, and I'm enjoying the mediumship class so far, but have just started it.
I would suggest that you continue learning what makes you feel fulfilled. After your class is over, practice that intuitive exercise and do what feels most fitting for you. You have a strong medical background, so your medical intuition may be what you go to. However, there is no right or wrong answer. It is what brings you the most joy because you will be much more attuned in the practice that brings you joy because it will help you maintain that high vibrational status that is essential for a good intuitive connection.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
I did have a couple questions as well. Um, the last couple of nights, I've had very similar style dreams and sleep patterns where I will go to sleep and then have a dream and wake up, fall back asleep, kind of right back into the same spot of the same dream that I was having previously. And that'll happen a few times throughout the night. And it's happened in the last 2 nights back to back. The same style thing where I'll wake up and then fall right back asleep into the same spot of the dream, or I'll even get up and go to the bathroom and fall back asleep exactly into the same spot. So, and the dreams themselves, they seem to have like a similar theme back to back as well. So I'm not sure if there was what the purpose was of those dreams or meanings behind them or what was happening.
Repeating dreams are usually messages from your guides that are repeating because you are not receiving the guidance they are attempting to share with you. Do the dreams have meaning to you? Do they show you a behavior or a habit or a pattern that you are perhaps engaging in, that you are being shown for a reason so you may learn a lesson?
Honestly, they felt more like I was doing something. Like I was in the middle of doing it. Like it wasn't a lesson or story or anything. It was like there was something happening that I was a part of. Um, Honestly, it felt very mm, first contact kind of feeling, but not for. I don't know how to explain it. But they were very similar in both of the nights. But it didn't feel like that it was a lesson or that there was a message or. I mean, I'm sure probably there was, but it felt more like I was somewhere else.
The message that you are trying to be sent will be continuously repeated until you understand what it is. So perhaps if you were to record the dreams and read over a series of journal entries that you record the dreams, it may help you decipher the meaning of this. However, it is apparent that you are trying to force an outcome, and that could be something to tell you that you have to allow yourself to experience what growth you are going through, because you may be overlooking a step that is integral for you to know before you can go to the next step. And there is a lot of chaos and a lot of movement in the energy that it feels as if you were not going within enough to receive the full value of the message that is being given to you.
I mean, I'm just trying to sleep. I wake up more tired than when I tried to go to sleep, so I'm not sure what's happening. Like I'm not forcing anything. I'm not asking for anything before I go to sleep. So I'm not sure like what narrative I'm trying to push.
Are you meditating?
Not before bed.
You might want to try so that you can calm your mind and allow yourself to enter rest.
Yeah,
It is,
I've done that before in the past, and I didn't really notice much of a difference. So it's,
but
I mean, I
remember,
will.
you're changing every moment of every day. Your soul is growing because you're learning new things every single moment. So you cannot say, I did it in the past and it didn't work, because you are a different person and a different soul than you were even 5 minutes ago. So allow yourself to be open minded and allow yourself to try things that may have not worked in the past, or keep your eyes open for guidance, because when you are in a busy state, you will overlook guidance that is given to you. Therefore, your guides will repeatedly send it to you over and over and over and over again until you finally see it. They may change the delivery method if you're not seeing it the way they originally sent it, but it will continue to happen because it is not something that you can step over. It has to be learned before the next lesson is able to be delivered.
Okay. I mean, I'll try and do the meditation before sleep if it feels right, or if, like if my body feels like I need it. But like I will here and there. I mean, I probably did like a week ago. So it's not like it was months or last year. I mean, I've done it recently too. But yeah, I mean, if it feels right for me to do it, then I will. I just thought maybe there was something more to the dream or something further to look into, and I just can't figure it out on my own.
Trust that you don't have to figure it out. You allow the information to come to you. And that is where the forcing the issue comes. I am trying to figure it out is exactly what was just said. So you must understand that is a form of control. When you try to produce an outcome, which even though you may not believe you are, because you aren't going inside and asking, what is the purpose of this? Why am I receiving this guidance? What is it meant to help me with? So that you can understand the message. It is usually something so simple, but if it's overlooked, then it will continue to be repeated until it is received, and you are able to learn from it to get your next lesson.
Melissa, if I could just share a very recent experience that's along the same line of suggestion that the Mantids are making to you. Um, I started journaling again, writing down what I would call vivid dreams as soon as I wake up and I realize I've had an experience, and writing it down. And I did that for two of these dreams back at the end of December. And late last week, I had another third dream along the same lines. But when I woke up, I said to myself, I have to journal this. But then all of a sudden, I felt like, no, I have to record this on video. So it was 3:30 in the morning. I sat up in bed. I left the room quietly, set up my camera, and I started to record my recollection of that specific dream from that I had just woken up from. And as I did, I cannot tell you how importantly things came to me that connected the other two previous dreams and made more sense of the questions I had about those dreams. And sequentially, it was like watching Star Wars, all three episodes at once. It all made sense. And it was because I followed that inkling of either journaling or then in that moment recording it on video that brought the rest of it out through me. And I otherwise probably wouldn't have accomplished that if I hadn't done it.
Yeah, I'll see if I can try and do that. I mean, like I said, I'm waking up more tired than when I go to sleep, and then I have to get ready for work, so I don't have the most amount of time to really just sit and journal, unfortunately, at this moment in my life.
Then
But
you
I
won't
will
get.
see what I can do. I mean, I try and document it in some way, shape, or form, like telling somebody about what happened. But I guess in my brain, I'm just confused because how is trying to figure out, like,
Well, the other thing I'll
discovering
share,
what the
I don't mean to
purpose
cut
of
you
the
off.
dream was and then trying to work it out. How, like, I don't know. I'm
Right.
just confused.
So doing that will help you work it out is what I'm encouraging you to do because it's just what
Mhm.
I've experienced. But the other thing I found was I didn't go back to sleep at 3:30 in the morning and I was up the rest of the day and I had all the energy in the world for some reason because I was worried about the same thing. I thought, how am I going to go back
Yeah.
to sleep? It's now 4 o'clock in the morning and get a good couple more hours of sleep before the day starts. And I was up the rest of the night and the rest of the day I was just energetic. And I really believe that any sense of fatigue was alleviated because the connections had been made as to what the purpose of those dreams were because I made the effort to do that. I'm not saying that would happen to you too, but if you're worried about being able to go to work the next day, try it once, and if it doesn't work and you're still tired, then you know what your answer is. But if you do give it a shot, maybe you might have the same experience that I was lucky enough to have.
Yeah, I mean, I usually go to sleep at 4, so I can't stay up all night. But yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying about, certain meditations and processing and things like that have given boosts of energy and things like that too. So I understand what you're saying. But I mean, I'll try and do what I can, but I'm still kind of, I guess, stuck on the part of like, I'm not forcing a narrative by trying to figure out what I'm just really confused what the Mantids are saying by like trying to force a narrative or something of trying to force or and trying to find an answer to it. But that's kind of the purpose of being shown something is to work through. I'm really confused what I'm supposed to be doing.
Are you able to allow yourself to sit quietly and ask your guides, what is it I need to know? And listen to the response.
I don't hear anything usually, so
That is what you must work on. That is your block at this time. And that is why the confusion is a part of what you're experiencing. The entire connection is a surrender and allow agreement. It is not tell me what I need to know. It is I am open to receiving your guidance. And perhaps if you change that perspective, it will allow you to hear the guidance. And if it doesn't come as you do not have the time, then move away and return at a time when you are available. But it is not, that is what you have to learn. You have to learn to sit quietly and hear the guidance. You may see it, you may know it, but you'll receive the guidance in whatever form is most beneficial for you. But if you continue to sit there and say, I am not receiving anything, you have broken your divine connection, which is a challenge most human beings encounter because they don't have the patience to sit and allow the guidance to come. That is what is meant by trying to force an outcome because it will come when it is ready to come, much like your cat's behavior. Your cat can be caught and held, but it will not be happy. If you allow the cat to come at its own device and spend time with you, it is a much more easy occurrence. So think of your guidance as a cat and allow yourself to become silent and allow the guidance to come. If you don't put in the practice, you will continue to be frustrated and struggle, and you may learn and read and practice all that you want, but the most practice that is required of you at this time is that sitting in silence and allowing the guidance to reach you. If you are able to achieve that state, it will change your outlook on everything, and you will feel much more in alignment with what you are experiencing at this time.
Okay, I will work on it.
I know
That's
you
all I
will
can
succeed. I know you have the ability to do it. It is not going to be easy because you have a lot of things going on in your mind, as do other humans. However, if it was easy, you wouldn't have come here to learn how to remember. You must understand that everything that happens for you is a lesson to help your soul grow and expand. And as your soul grows and expands, it remembers the previous life experiences that it had and the teachings. Then you will be able to put them into play with what you've attained during this lifetime, which will allow you to grow more openly and easily. However, at this time, you struggle with allowing the guidance to come to you, believing that you can make it come, and it is not going to work in that fashion. It is when you are able to quiet your mind and receive the guidance, you will begin your growth cycle, and you will notice a massive transformation in your spiritual power, energy, and your intuitive connections.
I have one other question here for Kelly. It has to do with the ringing in her ears. It seems to affect her ability to physically hear other humans talk to her. And she's wondering, is there a purpose to that? And is there any way to clear that without obviously affecting whatever gifts it's turning on for her?
They are the downloads and the connection to the spiritual realm that she has been receiving for some time. It does change in volume, and it does depend on her connection and her surroundings as to the noise amount that she will be hearing. We will work to allow this to clear because as she continues to channel more strongly, it will diminish. However, at this point, it is still necessary for us to maintain a connection, but we will allow the human hearing to be more strengthened so that she will be able to hear more easily.
Terrific.
Yes. So I recently did another channeling, and the guides were telling me to move forward, but I didn't fully understand what they meant by moving forward, whether spiritually, physically, all of the above. I had a little bit of confusion there.
It feels as though you have a block, that you are stuck on an idea of some sort, that you should follow through with the idea, and the idea is not in your highest good. So it is holding you back because you are believing you must complete this step, and it is not going to serve you.
Okay.
You have a very strong belief system, and you have a lot of strength and fortitude in your beliefs And it is something that can hold you back if your focus is not on the proper target that you should be moving forward toward. So ask yourself, what is it that you feel you have to do that may or may not serve you in your highest and best use?
Okay. I had one more question as well. I use muscle testing to kind of as a form of channeling, and I've been told many times, trust your muscle testing, trust your intuition. But then recently I was informed that my ego was very ambitious and kind of making up stories. And so I was wondering if I get some additional information on how the ego affects the muscle testing.
Perhaps that is the block you are experiencing.
That could be it, yes.
It is suggested that you allow yourself to meditate and allow the guidance to come to you as well. If you are unable to be receptive at your guide's delivery and your ego will try to override, it is something that happens often. So if you are able to discipline yourself to meditate and allow the guidance to come, there will be absolutely no doubt, because when the guidance comes from your guides, it will be from a place of love. There will be zero negativity, zero fear, zero doubt. You will know in your heart that the guidance is real. So if you are able to allow yourself to receive the guidance, you will know without a doubt that that is the right path to follow.
All right. Thank you very much.
One final question. This is more of a curiosity question from Kelly, had to do with the water on the earth. It's our understanding it's been here since the time of the earth's creation, and it doesn't actually go anywhere. It just keeps getting recycled. Do you have any more information to expand on that, if that's a truth or not, in terms of where the water goes?
It is a truth. The water does not go anywhere. It simply comes up to the atmosphere. It is released back onto the ground as rain or humidity or fog, absorbs into the ground and goes through the natural filtration systems of the earth and is consumed, which would then put it through the human body. It is then consumed by animals or used for anything that is a purpose of water, but it never leaves the aura of the earth. It will always be the same amount of water that has been here, will always be here.
Understood. Thank you very much. Are there any other questions from the group before we bring Kelly back?
Yeah, I got one. Based
Sure.
on the what she was talking about the scene, what am I not wanting to see, and will seeing that something that I don't want to see return my eyesight?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Yes, based on what I'm not wanting to see, will seeing that something that I don't want to see return my eyesight?
It's possible if you will believe it to be true.
But what is it that I'm not wanting to see? I'm wondering. Hmm. Guess I'll have to figure that out, right? Because my eyesight isn't that great.
It is held in your belief system. You have the power to heal your body and to heal anything wrong with you. However, there is nothing wrong with your eyes. It is a belief that there is something wrong with your eyes. Humans are programmed to receive beliefs, and they are programmed to think that they need medicine, and they are programmed to believe that they cannot heal themselves without the assistance of outside intervention, which is not true. However, their programming is so deeply ingrained and so strong that they are very challenged to overcome it, because they want to doubt things like outside guidance because it is not something that they were programmed to believe is real, and it is usually a new experience for them. So it's a matter of mental discipline and mental work, allowing yourself to release these limiting beliefs so that you may allow the universe to work for you. You have seen stories of miracle healing that people have encountered. You have seen people regrow organs that have been removed by surgery. There are stories of people who have been near their death state and have come back and healed without intervention. It is a matter of your belief system and the strength and fortitude of your mental state to allow yourself to know 100% that that is the way it is and that is the way it shall be. Because everything you say out loud is something that manifests. So it is important to understand how not to speak. If you speak in the negative, you may think you are repelling that occurrence from yourself. However, the universe does not hear the not portion of your statement. For instance, if you say, I do not want to fall down the stairs, all the universe understands is fall down the stairs. So you're probably going to fall down the stairs. If you've ever been cutting something with a knife and someone said, don't cut yourself, it is possible that you will cut yourself because the energy has manifested that come true. And that is a very simple way to put it. But if you look at it from the bigger perspective, if you believe and you project the energy of that belief, it will happen. However, the doubt is what will cancel it out immediately. Anytime you doubt or experience a negative thought about, I can't heal, I can't connect with my guides, I can't do this because it's not happening to your liking as far as speed, it will shut down the process and you must start over again.
Mantids, thank you very much for coming through for the collective messages this evening. They're very powerful, very strong, and we'll thank Kelly as well when she comes back.